His Excellency has spoken about the past and the future of boxing. You know what time it is. Let's talk about it. Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T-Dub. What's blazing in sports? Yes, of course, I am back at it like a crack at it. Ow! Giving you boxing geekers at work. Alright, guys, this is my reaction and thoughts to the interview done by DAZN with His Excellency. Guys, we got to talk about it, right? About it, what he thought about boxing, my thoughts on his thoughts about boxing, and his plans, from what I heard, on the future of boxing. Now, I'm going to say this to start off. At first, I was a bit skeptical when boxing started really being pushed to go there, right? Because they was like, oh, you don't know what's going to happen. You might want to watch out. But the more I see, the more I hear, the more comfortable I am. And now I'm going to get into this interview. When this interview started off, His Excellency was touching on the past of boxing. And you can instantly tell his passion, his love for the sport of boxing, how back in the 70s and the 80s, how boxing was #1. And to me, his love for this sport now is like 14 or 15. When you love something so much like that, you really want it to be loved by everyone. You want it to be appreciated and pushed to the top by everyone. But now in the USA, it's not so much. We have bigger sports like basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and so on and so on. And then he started to touch on reasons why. Talking about some of the fighters. Maybe they don't have the attitude or the charisma that the fighters had back then. Talk about the promoters. Everybody's a promoter now doing their own thing. And they could be causing roadblocks, right? Money, finance to do a big fight. Is it worth it? And then he touched on something that I heard about how some fighters don't want a tough fight. And I think that's true. See, when some fighters see a fight that can be very tough, they use that very tough fight. They talk about it all the time, how they really want that tough fight. But they fight somebody else for years. And you may or may not never see the tough fight. Well, His Excellency touched on something. He touched on a reason why he wants to push these things to happen a lot sooner than later. Why he want to be able to see these things in his lifetime. And I completely 100% understand that. I remember when I was talking about boxing years ago, and I was like, hey man, you can be alive and hear about, let's say, Wilder gonna fight Pacquiao. And then by the time it actually happens, you don't live to see it happen. Now, when you talk about basketball, you see the finals every year, right? NFL, you're going to see the Super Bowl, the best play the best every year, right? Baseball, right? There's something that's going to lead to a champion or the best fighting the best every year, right? There's something out there. Not in boxing. The fight you want to see might have never happened. And that could be part of the reason why some people giving up on it. Then he started touching on the ages of these boxers. Why it is so important to see them now, right? Tyson Fury is in his 30s. Deontay Wilder's in his late 30s, right? We're looking at Usyk and Joshua. And he touched on the Wilder and Joshua situation. He said, look at Wilder, look at his body, you know? He's 37, 38 years old. The Wilder-Joshua fight is no longer the biggest fight. I know some people are going to disagree with that, but it's not. Joshua went out there and pulled a 180, right? He pulled a 180 in the beginning and was more like a cowardly, tentative little Joshua. Didn't want to get hit. He was a giant that had a statue of Hercules. But he had the heart of the cowardly lion from, what's that old movie where the yellow brick road Dorothy. You know what I'm talking about. Wizard of Oz, right? You know what I'm talking about. But man, he went out there and fought. Gained respect. Cheers. And done what a man of his size is supposed to do. And then Wilder, he pulling a 180. He is no longer fighting like the courageous, power strucker, willing to exchange fighter he used to. It's more tentative, more of a boxer, a thinker, you know? And it only got him more exposed to getting hit and make his chances of connecting a lot less. You throw less punches, you land a lot less. You throw more punches, you have a greater chances of landing more. He changed. Now, can Wilder bounce back? He don't have that much time, but he has to do it. He has to scrap that thinking and on the outside and no, don't do that. We just saw Shakur Stevenson do it. And he's an actual boxer that can do it. And people didn't like it. You are a thunderstrucker. You have the right hand of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet with stones in it. Let it go. Let it fly. It looks beautiful when it flies. And destruction and ugly when it lands. We love it. And he touched on something, guys. His Excellency said that they have a vision. And I believe it's at 2030. Check it and make sure I'm right. 2030. About basically changing boxing. He said, listen, the UFC is doing it right. It's only one company. You know, and it sounds like they want to strive more like the UFC. He said there's 4 sanctioned bodies in boxing and this and that. To me, it sounds like they want to strive more for a united boxing type of network where the best will fight the best. They want to have good music, good food. You know, well, I'm throwing the food in there. Good music, good boxing, good promoting. And he also said, you know what I really want to see? You know what I really want? Good video games. He wants a good video game. I think they might be partnering with something with Undisputed. TV series, movies, documentary. Listen, man, I gotta say, as a boxing fan watching this interview, I was sold. You know, because I'm in the USA, the only sad thing is I would like for it all to be taking place on U.S. soil, right? For at least I think I have a chance to potentially go see a fight, right, of these type of magnitudes. But listen, man, if it's bringing boxing back to the forefront, and they got the money to put behind it to make it happen, they can bring rivals together and damn near make them smile and shake hands. I like it. You know, I like what he's trying to do, and I'm a boxing fan, and I want to see these fights in my lifetime, his lifetime, and anybody that's catching this video during the time this is uploaded in your lifetime, we can see the fights. Haney versus Gervonta Davis, Wilder versus Joshua. You know, I want to see it, but until then, my time is up. I gotta go back into my normal 9 to 5. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Sharing is caring. Ow. Because I'm back at it. Like a crack at it. Giving you boxing geekers that work.